The absolute best strategy for 2020 is reverse virtual wholesaling. And if you've never heard of that before, then in this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly what that is and specifically how you can incorporate it into your real estate business. So that way, if you're brand new in the business and you're trying to get your first real estate deal, then you're going to get it faster with a lot less headache, with a lot less competition, and you're going to be able to have access to motivated sellers that you're not having to deal with other investors fighting for those same motivated sellers. And I'm doing this video here on location inside of Wynwood Walls here in Miami. Lots of different artists come here and paint the walls, and this is a very touristy area. Whenever I have guests here in Miami, then I always show them Wynwood Walls. So maybe if one day you are my guest, then I will show you Wynwood Walls. So let's talk again about reverse virtual wholesaling. What is reverse virtual wholesaling? Well, let's break it down by me discussing, and I have to first give you context in terms of what virtual wholesaling is by explaining to you some of the other wholesaling methods. So if you are brand new to this channel, then you know that I talk about wholesaling as the absolute best way to get started as a real estate investor. And wholesaling is the art of going out and finding discounted properties. We find property owners that have a property that they need to sell. They need to sell quickly. Maybe it needs repairs. Maybe they have an issue with the tenants at the property. And so what they're looking for is a solution to be able to sell the property quickly without having to go through your other conventional channels, such as real estate agents and putting the property on the market. And so then what we do as a wholesaler is we offer a service to them that they can sell the property to us directly, and then now they can get things done much faster. And wholesaling is different than real estate flipping, where we're not buying the property, closing on it, and then fixing it up and then reselling it. What we're doing is we are finding these property owners where we have a contract now with that property owner to purchase the property. And then what we're going to do is that then we are going to find another real estate investor that is looking for that type of property, and we're going to sell them our agreement. And when we sell them our agreement, then they take over that deal, and now they're able to have a great property at a great price. And then a couple weeks later, we can collect a check that could be anywhere from a couple $1,000s to as much as $90,000 or more. Now, virtual wholesaling is where we go out and we do wholesaling, but without ever having to personally meet with the property owners, without having to personally inspect the properties, without just really using our cell phone and a computer and an internet connection and a lot of online tools that are available for us. And so then now that's what I consider to be the godfather of, because back in 2004 or 5, I started to do virtual wholesaling when in fact a lot of these different tools were not available. So it's a lot harder back then. So that is virtual wholesaling. Now, I then talked about reverse virtual wholesaling. So typically with virtual wholesaling, you use that as a way to say, like, if you're in California and you're in a market that is it's not a great market. You're going to struggle. You're going to have a lot of competition. You're going to have to spend a lot of money to find a deal. So like, for example, if you're in California, you might want to do deals in, say, Indiana. And so then now you're going to go ahead and say, do research on the market. You're going to pick a market, and you're going to then very specifically pick the county and the zip codes, and you're going to do a lot of research in order to determine where are your best opportunities. And then you're going to take a chance and do direct mail marketing, and you're going to do cold calling, and you're going to do a variety of these different marketing methods to try to find deals. Now, to me, that is an antiquated model right now, and it's antiquated because of the fact that of a variety of different reasons, and I'll tell you what those are in a minute. Now, so I'm proposing, and this is what I'm proposing because this is what I'm seeing with my students having better success with, is doing reverse virtual wholesaling. Now, some of you may have heard the term reverse wholesaling before. Reverse wholesaling is a term, I think, that was coined by Ken Clothier from Real Estate Worldwide, where he says, go out, and if you're going to do wholesaling, instead of going out and finding a bunch of properties that you don't know if somebody might be interested in, you go out and you find cash buyers. You then figure out what they want in terms of deals and areas, etc. And then what you're going to do is that then you're going to go out and find exactly the type of deals that they're looking for. So that's reverse wholesaling. Reverse virtual wholesaling is where you, instead of you picking a market, instead of you picking a real estate market, what you're going to do is you're going to actually allow the market to pick itself. So how do you allow the market to pick itself? Well, you can't do that with conventional real estate investing marketing. And that's because with conventional wholesaling, you really gotta do some research. You really gotta figure out and get some data and some stats in order to figure out specifically what are the best markets. Like if I wanted to pick Florida, if I'm in California, I wanted to do business in Florida, and this is a great example, I want to do business in Florida, then I would say, I gotta pick a county, I gotta pick an area in Florida. And then once I pick an area in Florida, then I gotta go inside that county and figure out what are the zip codes that have the most investor activity, and then at that point, then I gotta make a commitment in terms of direct mail or maybe cold calling and a variety of these different methods in order to then find these motivated sellers. So with reverse virtual wholesaling, let's take the example that you're in California and you want to target Florida. Rather than you going through the research of trying to figure out what are the best counties for you to advertise in and for you to find deals, you're going to go ahead and just target the entire state. And then when you target the entire state, you're going to get a bunch of leads. You're going to get a lot of leads very inexpensively. And you're going to get leads that are going to be in areas where there's not that many people. Maybe it's a trailer park in the middle of nowhere, and that's okay. However, though, you're going to get a lot of other viable leads. So, and those leads, as you get them, then you're going to work them. And then what you're going to do is just like, for example, you might find that, hey, you're targeting the whole state of Florida, and then you get a lead in Kissimmee, Florida, and you've never been there, but you don't care, because now what you're going to do is you're just going to analyze that property using online tools, and then you're going to go ahead and then figure out what the property is worth, what your offer is going to be on that property, and then simply again go ahead and place that property under contract, make an offer to the seller. And then at that point, then once you have the property in the contract, you're going to go out and find buyers. Now, it doesn't matter that you don't know anything about that area. It doesn't matter that you don't have any buyers, because right now it's very, very easy to find buyers. There's so many sources. You can go on Facebook right now and look for cash buyers. You could just search Florida cash buyers, Florida real estate investors, and you're going to get a bunch of groups. You join all of them, and you're just going to pitch your property inside of those groups, and you're going to be able to find a deal. And that's the easiest way to do that. Now, the challenge is that you can't do that with conventional methods. You can't do that, say, with direct mail, because you're not going to target the entire state of Florida. It's too big. You're going to just spend a bunch of money and not getting anywhere. You can't cold call the entire state. You can't. So then how do you do it? What we have found, the best way, the easiest way to do that, and the most effective way, is doing that through Facebook ads. So rather than agonizing about the fact that, hey, I got to target a specific area in Facebook and try to find leads in this particular area and then fight out with the rest of the investors, like what we do is we just target the entire state of Florida. And when we target the entire state of Florida, what's happening is that now we're getting a ton of leads very inexpensively, and then we just do deals wherever those leads may come. So that's reverse virtual wholesaling, where rather than picking a market, then what we're doing is just simply doing our marketing in a very wide area and then allowing those leads to come to us, and then we're just going to do deals wherever they may be. And at that point, then the entire state is open to us, and we are getting leads in areas that are small towns where there's still a ton of buyer activity, a ton of interest from other people wanting to buy properties, but without having us to deal with the competition and the risk of, hey, are we picking the right market? Because that's an area that's something that people get stuck on. Chico, I want to know, how do I pick the right market that's going to guarantee my success? Well, you just pick the whole state and allow the leads to come in, and you just do the deals wherever they may be. And that is the best absolute way. Now, this is not theory. This is, I have a student who recently was in a county in Florida and was trying to get leads using Facebook ads and was having a real tough time. It was costing him a lot of money for these leads. And what he did, and through my recommendation and encouragement, I said, look, just do the entire state. Just run the entire state, and you're going to get a lot of leads. Some of them are going to be good, some of them are going to be bad, but you're going to get a ton of them that are going to, listen. I guess the security guard came because they were touching the artwork. You can't touch the artwork here. They'll throw you out. So this particular student was struggling in that county, and I said, look, just run the entire state. Trust me. run the entire state. All of a sudden, he runs the entire state. A couple weeks later, he gets a deal that he's now assigned, and he's gonna make 10 grand off of that deal. In an area that he has absolutely no idea. He didn't even know that that county existed until he got that lead. He never had a buyer, ever. But he did what I told him, and he went on a Facebook group, he posted the deal, found the buyer, and now he's gonna make 10K. And he's doing it a lot easier. The leads flow is consistent, and he's now having to make a bunch of decisions about, hey, what market is going to be best for me, or none of that stuff. And so that is reverse virtual wholesaling, where you do your marketing and you allow the leads to come in, and you just don't target any one particular state, but you target the whole. You don't target any one particular area. You target the entire state. You can have students that are targeting multiple states. I have students that are targeting the entire country, and it's working. Now, the only thing is that you need to do it using Facebook ads. That is the only way to do it, because you can't do it with direct mail or any other method. Now, I have a training that teaches you how to do that. So go ahead and click on the link in the description, check out the training, and then that way you can see exactly what I'm talking about, and maybe you can implement it to do more deals a lot easier in your real estate wholesaling business.